Winter is saying goodbye, and the sun is like, it's 21 degrees right now, so winter is saying goodbye. Get ready for harsh summer. What's up guys, this is Ayush. Welcome to a new video, and this is a follow-up video. Like in the previous video I just showed you, I shared with you some great camera hacks so that you can shoot cinematic videos with any DSLR. But as you guys know, cinematic footage doesn't come right off the camera. You need to edit and color grade those footage, and especially if you're using those hacks, you have to color grade your footage to make it the best, yeah. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it above, and the subscribe button is just below, so you can subscribe and click the bell icon, and make sure you like this video as well. So without any further ado, let's get into it. I did this for sound sync. So here is the footage, and you can see it is color graded and entirely color graded. Now if I close all the nodes, so if you have to do Alt D, and you can see this is the file, the footage that came out of the camera. So I shot this with the Canon 1200D, the exact camera which is right here, and I shot in neutral profile, everything which all the hacks which I mentioned on the previous video. You can check that out, and this is the outcome. Now you cannot use that for sure, and definitely this is not the outcome. If you're expecting this the outcome, that's never going to happen. So first I'm going to do right click on any empty space and reset everything so that I can show you from the very beginning. Now the first thing that I do is balance the highlights and the shadows. Now what I am seeing that this is the brightest area on the top, and the darkest, maybe let's select the screen of the DSLR itself. So I'm gonna select, we're on primary view right now. Select this picker over here where it says pick white point. Pick the brightest point, not the white color, the brightest point. We're gonna select this, and we're going to click on this. Yeah, so no changes because the image is already well lit already. So now if you are shooting on the neutral picture profile, things will be a little bit washed because the shadows is it's not that dark. So we have to make it dark because shadows are dark and black. So we're going to select this picker on the left, like the shadows, and select this DSLR screen. I think this is the most darkest. So we're going to click on this, and you can see we got a little bit of shadows back, that little bit of contrast or the blackness, which makes this footage balanced now. So now our picture is perfectly balanced both in terms of highlights and shadows, but still if you want to darken the shadows a little bit, you can do this by using this wheel over here. So yeah, let's just go back, and for the midtones, let's see what can we do with the midtones. We can increase the midtones, just increasing a little bit so that we can get a little bit more detail. So now this is completely balanced. Now the next thing is we're gonna play with the curves over here, not play with the curves, to adjust the highlights and shadows properly and smoothly. And how you do that, and I think this is only available in Davinci Resolve, not in Premiere Pro as well. So you can do by normal curves, but still I think that is the best option, which I'm going to show you right now. So make a new node, and we're going to select this node. It's already selected. Come over here in this three little dot and choose editable splines for this curves over here. So I've already made it here, so that's why there's a check mark over here. So I'm going to close this. Now if I select this point, the highlight point, you can see that there is a handlebar. So if I can increase and decrease it. So the benefit here, if I just do it like this, you can see it's a very harsh highlight boost and shadow boost, whatever you want to do. So that's why I go for this editable spline, because even if I increase it, it's not that harsh, and you can see that there's a curve over here, a very smooth curve. So that is the reason, that is the thing I love about this. For shadows, I'm gonna leave it a little bit, lift up the shadows a little bit, make it a little bit brighter. So I think that's good. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this, and now what we are going to do, for example, if you want to use a LUT, so we're gonna make a new node. After making a new node, right click, and you can either choose a LUT from here, but what I do is go to the LUTs menu and select the LUT what I love. So we're not going to use Rec 709 because this is not log. So I'm here in the Cinicom LUTs, and we're going to use orange and black, orange and teal. Sorry, orange and black. Does that even make sense? So I'm going to select this, drag and drop on the third node, and there you go. This is what it is right now. You might say that it looks very strong, so you come over here to key and make the output, for example, let's say 0.350. Yeah, I think this looks good. It looks very subtle, but yeah, this looks good for me. And just a little bit more. Yeah, there it is. So a little bit more. I don't know, I'm getting really confused, but for now this is okay. Now what we're going to do is going to make another node, and this is the most important part. You see shadows and highlights. If you see shadows in real life, they are completely dark, they are completely black. But in videos, what we see, what I see in a few videos, that the shadows there are, maybe teal if they're using orange and teal, maybe purple, whatever. The shadows are never meant to be that, and that's what separates a better colorist and a better editor versus a normal, like, just for fun kind of thing. So now in this fourth node, what we're going to do, come back to curves over here, and we're going to select the luminance versus saturation. Now what this will do is it'll reduce, or you can say it will take away all the saturation and from the highlights and the shadows. So we're going to select this black and white, so it's going to select the darkest and the brightest spot automatically, and we can reduce this over here. So if I increase this, you can see that in the shadow, especially in this area right here, let's zoom in a little bit over here. So yeah, this is good. And you can see this is in the shadows, the saturation is completely up, and this is not a shadow. This is something, I don't know what to say that. We're gonna decrease it, and now you can see the shadow is now actually black. Let's say if we increase the highlights, so there is not that much of a difference. I can't see anywhere, so there is no visible difference, but still you need to decrease the saturation both from the highlights and the shadows, and that's what this is the most important step, you can see, because the shadows are not purple. Now if you see before and after, it looks very, very nice, and it looks a lot more cinematic and very professional. But what I'm seeing here, that this footage looks very red. So either you can make one more node, and we're gonna, in the curves, we're gonna just select the red over here, and we can either reduce it from the highlights, make it a little bit balanced. So let's just pick one point on the highlights. So editable spline is still on. You can just reduce the redness, and I think this looks good. So if we see before and after, you can see that there was a little bit of redness on the highlights, but now it is gone, and this looks way better. So yeah, that's it. And for example, if you want to increase the saturation of anything, for example, this blue paint over here, what would you usually do is increase the saturation of the entire clip, but that's what not we are going to do. For that, we're going to make a new node, and we're going to come here. Let's just make this complete, and we're going to come into hue versus saturation. Select the blue part with this picker, and you can just either increase or decrease it. If you decrease it, you can see all the blues are gone completely, and if you increase it, you can see the blues are getting up. So that is the thing. And let's say with the skin tones as well, select the hand and just increase it. So yeah, that looks it. And if we do before and after thing, there's a very slight difference, and most people will not even notice, but still, if you really want that, if you want to go an extra mile, this is it. So that is it for this video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. My Instagram account is linked below, so if you are doing any kind of color grade, tag me. I'd love to see, and I'd love to share with other people, other friends, and comment down below your thoughts. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys, and like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.